Welcome back, viewers. Now, film enthusiasts can expect to delve into the world of crime and deception as Andrew Scott takes on the iconic role of Tom Ripley in the Netflix series Ripley. Premiering today, one can only experience the tension and intrigue of Patricia Highsmith's enduring character like never before, with a cast including Dakota Fanning and Johnny Flynn. But before you go to Netflix, we bring you a glimpse here.
Hollywood sensation Andrew Scott has stepped into the shoes of the iconic criminal Tom Ripley in the upcoming Netflix series premiering today. The series, based on the enduring character created by novelist Patricia Highsmith, promises a fresh take on the beloved anti-hero.
It's interesting with any sort of iconic literary character like that, people have very strong opinions. He's a psychopath, he's a serial killer, he's blah, blah, blah. None of that is of any interest to me, really, and obviously I have to know that he does terrible things, but I really believe that he's not somebody who's naturally gifted at that kind of stuff.
Tom is one of those people who takes advantage of people.
Scott delves into the complexities of portraying Ripley as a check fraudster turned killer, wherein the audience must empathize with the character's perspective rather than just viewing him as a villain.
I think what the challenge of it was, how do you make an audience feel like what it's like to be Tom Ripley rather than what we might usually go, which is to feel like to be a victim of Tom Ripley, which is an unusual thing to do, but it's absolutely why she was one of the great crime writers, because you're willing for him in some ways, and at certain times, to get away with it, because he's the protagonist, he's not the antagonist.
Series creator Steven Zaillian, known for his Oscar-winning screenplay for Schindler's List, maintains the authenticity of Highsmith's vision, insisting on keeping the series firmly rooted in the early 1960s. Dakota Fanning, who plays a key role in the series, expressed her enthusiasm for the subtle nuances of character expression and communication in Ripley.
Someone is dead in Rome, and Senior Ripley is missing.
I think that what's wonderful televisually is that it's very difficult, we live in the TikTok generation, we live in the Twitter generation, say it in 15 characters or less, but do it to get it over, blah, blah, blah. And to get a really period feel, which I really think that the show has, you have to teach the audience how to watch it to a certain degree. And so there's certain times where the pacing is really quite fast, and there's certain times where you think this would take time. And you have to stay with the agony sometimes of and the thrill and the tension of when things aren't going right. That's the way life is, and I think that's why I think that's a great achievement of the series, is that he really encapsulates.
As anticipation builds for the grand premiere, viewers can expect a departure from traditional dialogue-driven narratives, with the series focusing on the tension-filled spaces between interactions. Agency Report, Republic TV.
In what would have been a much-loved story brought to the big screen, recent speculation in B-Town suggests that a biopic of late actor Sri Devi may be on the cards. Speaking on the matter, producer Boney Kapoor has iterated that to pay true respect to how she led her life. A film tracing her journey will never be made because Sri Devi had maintained a quiet, private life beyond the glam and fame she is associated with.
India and its diverse film industry fondly remembers the legendary actor Sri Devi. Recent Bollywood buzz has indicated that her biopic, tracing her big journey from her childhood days in Sivakasi to Mumbai, bringing characters in iconic films like Chandni, Mr. India and Sadma, may be on the cards. Boney Kapoor, husband of the late actor, clarified his position on the biopic and why he didn't want to make one. Speaking about it, the producer said that Sri Devi had kept her personal life away from the limelight, and that is how it should remain. He also asserted that in his lifetime, a biopic will never be made. Kapoor married the English-Vinglish actor in 1983 after separating from Mona Shori. While Sri Devi's legacy lives on, The couple's daughters Janvi and Khushi have already made their mark on the big screen following their mother's footsteps. On the work front, Boney Kapoor's production Maidan is set to make its theatrical debut this month. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Time to slip in a very short break. Coming up on the other side, Prime Minister Modi to launch the BJP's Lok Sabha poll campaign in Bihar today. The Prime Minister to address a rally in Jamui, which will go to poll in exactly 15 days from now in phase 1 of the polls.
A very good morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. It is going to be a high voltage campaigning by Prime Minister and Mamata Banerjee in Bengal's Cooch Behar. We will get you all election updates. First, the headlines this morning. Congress expels Sanjay Nirupam for what the party calls are his anti-party statements. This hours after the Congress dropped Nirupam from its star campaigner list. Delhi court to hear BRS leader K. Kavita's bail plea today. K. Kavita, the ED claims that she was a key actor in the South group in the Delhi liquor policy scam. Prime Minister Modi to launch BJP's Lok Sabha poll campaign in Bihar today. The Prime Minister to address a rally in Jamui, which will go to poll in exactly 15 days from now in phase 1 of the polls. High-octane campaign in Cooch Behar today. Prime Minister Modi, Mamata Banerjee is set for back-to-back rallies in Mamata's bastion. Allahabad High Court to today hear pleas filed by Muslim side on the maintainability of 18 consolidated suits in the Krishna Janmabhoomi title dispute case. Former Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren's custody in land scam case ends today. A special PMLA court extended had the custody till now. Now, after 6 months in jail, AAP MP Sanjay Singh walked out of Tihar after a surprise concession by the ED in the top court during his bail petition. In fact, without wasting a moment, Sanjay Singh entered the arena with his AAP colleagues to demand the release of Arvind Kejriwal and even launched an attack on the BJP over the Liquorgate probe. While the BJP has cautioned celebration by saying that it's only a bail, the AAP cadre celebrated the release of the Aam Aadmi Party MP.
After spending the last 6 months in jail, Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh stepped out of the Tihar jail after ED made a peculiar concession for his bail. Minutes after coming out of Tihar, Sanjay Singh made it clear that the battle of AAP is not yet over.
तिहाड़ जेल से बाहर निकले, हजारों कार्यकर्ताओं ने उनका स्वागत किया। संजय सिंह जी ने कार के ऊपर चढ़ के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को एक बात कही है, ये वक्त खुशी मनाने का नहीं है, ये वक्त संघर्ष करने का है। अभी हमारे 3 बड़े नेता अरविंद केजरीवाल, मनीष सिसोदिया और सत्येंद्र जैन जेल के अंदर है और जब तक वो नहीं छूटेंगे हम लोग खुशी मनाएंगे, हम लोग संघर्ष करेंगे, जेल से छूटेंगे, अरविंद केजरीवाल छूटेंगे।
Singh, who was named as a key conspirator for allegedly money laundering the proceeds of crime from Delhi Liquorgate, was surprisingly granted bail after ED said it had no objections. The court, however, observed that this grant of bail must not be treated as precedent and attached various conditions on Sanjay Singh's bail, which included no tampering with evidence and comments on the ongoing probe. This, however, did not stop the Aam Aadmi Party to celebrate his release, with Sanjay Singh leading the charge for his party.
अरविंद केजरीवाल
मनीष सिसोदिया, सत्येंद्र जैन, ये सारे साथी पूरी ईमानदारी के साथ बाहर निकलेंगे और जेल के ताले टूटेंगे। आतिशी जी से पूछा, इन्होंने कहा कोई शराब घोटाला नहीं हुआ। सौरभ ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके बार बार कहा शराब घोटाला नहीं हुआ। भाजपाई कहते थे शराब घोटाला हुआ है, हुआ है, हुआ है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी सर से लेके पांव तक शराब घोटाले में डूबी हुई है, याद रखना। उसने 55 करोड़ का पिन गाड़ा, भाजपाइयों ने गड्डी गिनना शुरू किया, उसको कहा तुम तो किंग हो, किंग हो, किंग हो, शरद रेड्डी जिंदाबाद।
On the other hand, the BJP tried to caution the Aam Aadmi Party celebration by saying it's only a bail and not a acquittal. Hence, the celebrations might be a bit premature.
यही तो हम बार बार कह रहे हैं कि ये कोर्ट का काम है कि वो किसको बेल देगा, किसको बेल नहीं देगा। तो अब तो बेल मिल गई उनको, हालांकि मिली बेल है, वो शराब घोटाले से रिहा नहीं हुए हैं, लेकिन उत्सव ऐसा मना रहे हैं लोग जैसे लगता है कि पूरे शराब कांड से बरी हो गए। शर्त के साथ उनको कोर्ट ने बेल दिया है।
Has the release put a damper on the AAP's narrative of political vendetta? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, as Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal remains in Tihar in judicial custody, the AAP workers and his legal team are constantly working round the clock to get him out of the jail. In fact, in the latest, at one hand, Kejriwal's legal team reached Delhi's High Court to challenge his arrest. On the other hand, AAP echoed its concerns over the health of Kejriwal in Tihar jail. Here are the details.
While AAM Supremo continues to languish in Tihar jail, his legal team and his party are constantly rallying support to get him out. While on the legal front, AAP lawyers reached the Delhi High Court to challenge his arrest, the Aam Aadmi Party had a different plan in mind. AAP Minister Atishi came out alleging that CM Arvind Kejriwal has health issues, and if anything happens to him in jail, the nation will not forgive the BJP.
अरविंद केजरीवाल ऐसी सीवियर डायबिटीज के पेशेंट, लेकिन इस डायबिटीज के बावजूद भी, इतनी बीमारी के बावजूद भी आज तक अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने अपनी डायबिटीज को, अपने स्वास्थ्य को, अपनी देश के सेवा में कभी अड़चन नहीं डालने दी है। लेकिन जब से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को भारतीय जनता पार्टी शासित केंद्र सरकार ने गिरफ्तार किया है, उनके स्वास्थ्य पर एक जबरदस्त खतरा मंडरा रहा है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी का पिछले 12 दिन में 4.5 किलो वजन घट गया है। एक डायबिटीज का पेशेंट होते हुए इतने कम समय में इतना ज्यादा वजन घटना कई प्रकार की कॉम्प्लिकेशंस पैदा कर सकता है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी अरविंद केजरीवाल को कुचलने के लिए, आम आदमी पार्टी को कुचलने के लिए किसी भी हद तक जा सकती है। इसलिए मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ये चेतावनी दे रही हूं कि आज पूरा देश आप पर नजर रख रहा है। अगर हिरासत में अरविंद केजरीवाल के स्वास्थ्य को कुछ हो जाता है तो ये देश आपको माफ नहीं करेगा, यहां तक कि भगवान भी आपको माफ नहीं करेगा।
Rebuked over the allegation made by AAP Minister Atishi, the Tihar jail administration immediately sprung into action to offer a factual counter on Kejriwal's health condition. The Tihar administration said that Kejriwal's weight has remained constant at 65 kgs since his arrest. His vitals are monitored and are normal. AAP's allegations come as a surprise, as Arvind Kejriwal, who once sat on a fast unto death against corruption, is facing weight loss after being locked in jail in a corruption case despite getting home-cooked meals. Kejriwal's legal team challenged the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, questioning the timing of the arrest. The common theme in Kejriwal's defense being that ED is trying to fix the Delhi Chief Minister with no evidence or established money trail, even calling the arrest unconstitutional. On the other side, the Enforcement Directorate argued that the present custody of Kejriwal is pursuant to the third remand order given by the Delhi court, which was not challenged by Arvind Kejriwal. Amid all these, the hopes of AAP workers are at an all-time high, as after 6 months in jail, AAP Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh walked out of jail, becoming the first leader accused in the Liquorgate to be released on bail. Does this mean there is a ray of hope for Arvind Kejriwal as well? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now with Manda set to go for polls in 23 days from now, Karnataka's Manda MP Sushanta is likely to join the BJP after making it clear that she will not contest the upcoming polls. Note that this comes after H.D. Kumaraswamy, the former Chief Minister of the state, who is also Manda candidate for the BJP-JDS alliance, sought her cooperation in the upcoming polls.
की बार 400 पार, अब की बार
The BJP is leaving no stone unturned to make Ab Ki Baar 400 Par a reality. And the BJP is roping top leaders that can checkmate the opposition. One such face is Sushanta Amrish, Karnataka's Manda MP. BJP, which is in alliance with the Janata Dal Secular in Karnataka and has fielded former CM and JDS second in command H.D. Kumaraswamy from Manda, needs Amrish's support and blessings. There is a strong speculation that the incumbent Manda MP may soon join BJP. This comes after H.D. Kumaraswamy sought her cooperation in the upcoming polls. Sushanta is likely to announce her decision today after speaking to her supporters and holding another round of discussions with the BJP leadership. Calling politics a game of chess, she said that one must evolve as the situation. She further said that BJP has given her options to choose from and that nobody can corner her. The actress turned politician entered politics in 2019 after the demise of her husband, actor turned politician Amrish. She contested the general elections as an independent candidate in 2019 and defeated H.D. Kumaraswamy's son Nikhil Kumaraswamy with a margin of more than 1 lakh votes. Becoming the elected queen of Manda, this time she has decided to not run the poll race. But she has made it clear that she will not leave Manda. H.D. Kumaraswamy will now face Congress's Venkatramana Gowda, who is popularly known as Star Chandru. Manda will go to poll on the 26th of April. While D.K. Shivkumar is confident of Congress's win in Manda, calling it a politics of livelihood and not a cinema politics. With Sushanta Amrish now with BJP, can the saffron wave conquer Manda? Agency Report, Republic TV.
Now it's Mehbooba Mufti versus Abdullah in Kashmir Valley in what seems like an end to the Gupkar alliance. PDP's Mehbooba Mufti has announced that she will field candidates for 3 seats in the Lok Sabha after getting the axe from the National Conference. Now, while Mufti has alleged that the Abdullahs took a unilateral decision over seat sharing dilemma Umar has still remained defiant. The question is this the end of Gupkar alliance? More on this in this report.
Just days ahead of the big Lok Sabha battle, the India alliance has come undone in the valley. PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti announced that her party will independently contest on the 3 Lok Sabha seats in Kashmir in what seems like the ultimate end of the Gupkar alliance. After getting the axe from the National Conference Party on the unilateral decision on a seat share deal, a dismayed Mufti said that she was left with no options but to field PDP's candidates.
Just after Election Commission of India has announced the poll bugle, now we are seeing that the Jammu and Kashmir is also joined the list of those states where India alliance partners are going to fight this election against each other, and this has also happened in Jammu and Kashmir where National Conference will be fighting against PDP, though both the big parties are the part of India alliance. Just today, Mehbooba Mufti has announced that his party will be contesting on all 3 seats in Kashmir Valley, and the decision for Jammu will be announced soon. All this has come just after National Conference declared its candidate.
The Gupkar electoral row has been raked up just days after the Abdullahs declared their decision to field candidates on all 3 seats in Kashmir, while the Congress will fight on the other 2, leaving no space for the PDP. While reacting to PDP's decision, NC's Omar Abdullah said that if Mufti is fielding her own candidates, an alliance may not be on the cards in the future.
जो तीसरे नंबर पे आए उनको सीट मांगने का कहां से हक बनता है, और वो तीसरे नंबर पे तब आए जबकि पूरी जमात उनके साथ थी। आज जिन्होंने उनको तीसरे नंबर पे लाया उनमें से कितने लोग आज पीडीपी में हैं? तो अब ये कहाँ का इंसाफ? और वैसे भी मुझे ये बता, मैं आपसे ये क्लियर करूँ ना, अगर मुझे इंडिया अलायंस में जाने से पहले यह कहा गया होता कि इंडिया अलायंस में हमें अपने आप को कमजोर करना है इंडिया अलायंस के किसी दूसरे मेंबर के लिए, मैं शायद कभी इंडिया अलायंस में जाता ही नहीं।
While senior leaders of the Indi struggle to survive the infighting spree, former State Chief Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad voiced his decision to fight the Lok Sabha from the Anantnag-Rajouri constituency. His principal agenda being the reinstatement of Jammu and Kashmir's statehood.
They accepted in the final round that Jammu Kashmir will be given statehood. Of course, I also fought that first should be given statehood and that should follow the elections, to which the government did not agree. Okay, now having accepted that statehood will be given immediately after the elections, assembly elections.
Even as political tensions rise between a disgruntled Mufti and the adamant Abdullahs, is this the end of the Gupkar alliance? Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, in news from the world of business, Amazon is seeing substantial growth in the state of Uttar Pradesh, with KN Srikanth even mentioning the company's extensive research across districts, large seller base and innovative delivery solutions and successful festive sales that has attracted millions of customers. Here's a detailed report.
Uttar Pradesh is one of the fastest growing markets for Amazon.in. This as the market witnessed healthy double-digit growth, and the momentum has continued this year too. Market experts say that in the first 3 months of 2024, they have seen more than 25% growth year-on-year on a large base. The company also confirmed Uttar Pradesh as one of the largest markets for Amazon.in, with Lucknow, Noida and Ghaziabad contributing to more than 50% of the total demand coming from the state. KN Srikanth, Director, Home Kitchen and Outdoors, Amazon India, told news agency that, speaking about the challenges of reaching last-mile connectivity, he said they have concepts where if you are a small shop in a remote place, you can become the delivery hub. He added that customers can come and pick up the products from there. He also said that there are 2,700 such hubs in UP, and it generates revenue for the hub owner itself.
Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, in good news for the Indian economy, the World Bank has revised the projections of India's growth rate in this financial year by 1.2%, taking it to an overall expected expansion of 7.5% growth. In fact, the revised adjustments come as India is set to emerge as a major regional economic powerhouse in South Asia, led by its service and industrial sector.
The World Bank has revised its growth projections for the Indian economy, forecasting a robust expansion of 7.5% in the fiscal year 2024. The adjustment was an upward revision of 1.5% from the previously estimated 6.3% in October 2023. The latest update of South Asian development shows a strong growth trajectory for the entire region, which is expected to achieve a growth rate of 6%. India's economic growth is also a pivotal factor in the region's economic expansion, showing the resilience of India's services and industry sectors that underpin its growth momentum. Recent economic indicators have shown promising growth of the Indian economy, with India surpassing expectations in Q4 of 2024 after registering a growth rate of 8.4% year-on-year. Looking ahead, the World Bank anticipates a moderation in India's growth to 6.6% in fiscal year 2024 to 2025, which primarily attributed to investment declarations. However, over the medium term, efforts to reduce fiscal deficits and government debt are projected to be enforced by India's robust output, signaling a positive trajectory for the economy. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Now, India's largest renewable energy company, Adani Green Energy, has achieved a major milestone. Their operational capacity has now surpassed the 10,000 megawatts mark, which is enough to power millions of homes and even avoid millions of tons of carbon emissions each year. In fact, this is a big step towards India's goal of using more clean energy by 2030.
In a significant milestone, Adani Green Energy became the first company in India to reach 10,000 megawatts renewable energy capacity. This comes after Adani Green Energy commissioned a 2,000 megawatt capacity solar plant in Gujarat's Khavda. With an operational portfolio of over 10,934 megawatts, Adani Green Energy holds the largest renewable capacity in India. The company aims to achieve 45 megawatts capacity by 2030, which is expected to power over 5.8 million homes and cut down over 25 million tons of carbon emission annually. Adani Greens is building the world's largest solar power plant in Gujarat, which will be 5 times the size of Paris. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And here's a look at stories in brief from across the country after being granted bail by top court. Aam Aadmi Party MP Sanjay Singh walked out of Delhi's Tihar after 6 months. He was greeted by party workers and upon his release note, he was arrested in connection with liquor policy probe. After walking out of jail, Sanjay Singh said, "Jashan manane ka waqt nahi aaya hai, sangharsh ka waqt hai," adding that he has full faith that Arvind Kejriwal, Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia will also come out free. Aam Aadmi Party leader Saurabh Bharadwaj said that 3 leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are still in jail and that the party will celebrate only after they are released, further adding that the party will continue with its struggle. Delhi Minister Atishi said that truth has triumphed, adding that despite conducting several raids, ED did not find corruption money from the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Atishi called Sanjay Singh the lion of the Aam Aadmi Party, adding that Singh will now roar against the autocracy of Narendra Modi, adding that Sanjay Singh's bail has also given the party renewed hope. Now, Ukraine and Finland have further strengthened ties as President Zelensky and Finnish President signed a security agreement in Kiev. Note that Finland has pledged 188 million euros in military assistance, which further affirms support for Ukraine's safety and future membership in the EU as well as the NATO.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and Finnish President Alexander Stubb met in Kyiv to solidify their nation's alliance. The two leaders signed a security agreement in Kyiv. As part of the agreement, Finland pledges substantial military assistance valued at 188 million euros, underlining its support for Ukraine's security and prosperity.
Finland has become the 8th country in the world to sign the security agreement with Ukraine. I'm not saying it was easy. Negotiations are always difficult, but I think the message is very clear. We in Finland believe not only in having mutual security agreements with Ukraine, but also in Ukraine's EU membership and in Ukraine's NATO membership, provided that the criteria are met. And for us, we should never forget the big picture, that a path towards EU membership and NATO membership for Ukraine is by definition a victory for Ukraine and a defeat for Russia and for Putin. And we want to play our part in this, and that's why we were able to be the 8th country to do it in a line of roughly 32 countries who've been working with it.
Meanwhile, President Zelensky highlighted Ukraine's new law lowering the conscription age to 25, aiming to address manpower shortages. In light of Russia's escalating military preparations, Zelensky warns of Russia's plan to mobilize 300,000 soldiers by June 1st.
Півмільйона нам не потрібно. Я вдячний Головкому за аудит. Важливо, що він знайшов сили і всередині Збройних сил України. А відповідна кількість, яка не була на фронті, вони на фронті будуть. Що стосується окремої кількості, скільки буде мобілізовано, поки вам не готовий це сказати. Можу сказати, що Росія на 1 червня готує мобілізацію 300 тисяч, додатково 300 тисяч військових.
Zelensky's remarks underscore the urgency of international support for Ukraine's defense efforts. Agency report, Republic TV.
Now, China's foreign ministry has accused the US of non-market manipulation and creating risks by blaming China for the surge of cheap exports like electric vehicles and batteries. Note that the comments were made ahead of US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's visit to China starting today. In fact, tensions between the two countries, US and China, have escalated over accusations of trade manipulation and technological restrictions. Here's a detailed report.
China's foreign ministry accused the US of non-market manipulation, denouncing Washington's claim of China flooding the market with cheap exports.
近年来，中国电动汽车、锂电池、光伏产品等产品出口增多，这是国际分工和市场需求的结果，有利于推动世界绿色发展。美方担心的究竟是不是产能过剩，大家都看得很明白。至于谁在搞非市场操作，事实就摆在这儿。美国针对中国的经贸科技打压的措施层出不穷，不是在去风险，而是在制造风险。
China defended its exports growth.
美方为维护自身霸权，将经贸科技问题政治化、工具化、武器化，为此不惜牺牲盟友的利益。中韩经济联系密切，产供链高度互嵌， 半导体产业互为上下游。希望韩方做出正确判断、自主决策，与各方一道，共同维护以世界贸易组织为核心、开放、透明、包容、非歧视的多边贸易体系，共同抵制将经济问题。
During a phone call, President Biden pressed Chinese President Xi Jinping over China's defensive relationship with Russia amidst the ongoing conflict in Ukraine.
这场危机存在进一步恶化升级的危险，应该推动降温，通过谈判而不是由枪炮来结束这场战争。政治解决不是让谁赢谁输，而是让和平胜出。中方将继续为此发挥建设性作用。中国不是乌克兰危机的制造者和当事方，没有向冲突任何一方提供致命性武器装备，我们没有也不会做从中渔利的事情。其他国家不要抹黑攻击中俄正常的国家关系，不要损害中国和中国企业的正当权益，更不要无端向中方甩锅推责。
As U.S. Treasury Secretary prepares for her visit to Beijing, tensions between China and the United States escalated over accusations of trade manipulation and technological restrictions. The question is, will this visit tone down the tensions between the two countries? Agency report, Republic TV.
And here's a look at stories in brief from across the globe. Tourists and residents of a city hit by strongest earthquake to hit Taiwan in a quarter century were on Wednesday evening grappling with the fallout. Residents in the city, the harbor city that is in eastern Taiwan, were seen seeking safe shelter after the earthquake. President Joe Biden teamed up with Senator Bernie Sanders to promote his administration's efforts to lower the cost of inhalers and other healthcare needs as the White House continues its efforts to highlight Biden's legislative achievements to voters ahead of the November elections. The United Nations says that the World Food Programme has suspended nighttime movements within the Gaza Strip for at least 48 hours to allow for further evaluation of security issues on the ground. The Union of State Employees carried out strike on Wednesday in the Argentinian capital, holding assemblies inside the ministries and other public organizations and calling for a national strike this week. In Cyprus, a ship belonging to Open Arms Aid Group loaded with canned food was destined to Gaza returned to a port of the city on Wednesday. NATO Secretary General and US Secretary of State reiterated their support for Ukraine as the NATO foreign ministers gathered in Brussels for a two-day meeting. Now, 2 years after the Russia-Ukraine war wreaked devastation in Kiev and other cities, NATO has chalked out a plan for the restoration of civilian life across Ukraine. In fact, the Secretary General has asserted that global powers must chalk out a plan that imparts sustainable assistance in the long run instead of temporary aid supplies to Kiev, maintaining that this step is necessary to help the country's forces counter Russian aggression on level playing field.
In a crucial meeting of foreign ministers in Brussels, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg delivered a stark message regarding the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Stoltenberg said providing sustained assistance supersedes the need for short-term aid.
Support Ukraine should be less dependent on short-term voluntary offers and more dependent on long-term NATO commitments. By doing that, we will give Ukraine what they need, and that is long-term, predictable, robust support. And that will also send a message to Moscow that they cannot wait us out.
Meanwhile, in the United States, Congress is yet to approve a supplemental spending bill.
I met senators, members of the House of Representatives, and they have all, over the last weeks, and they have all assured me that there is a big majority in the US Congress for support. So the issue is now to turn that majority into a vote, a firm decision. And I hope that can happen as soon as possible. There's also a big majority in the US public for continued support to Ukraine. So I expect the US now to make a decision, because it's in the US security interest to ensure that President Putin doesn't prevail in Ukraine, not least because this will also encourage other authoritarian leaders, including Beijing, to use military force and to violate international
Stoltenberg urged Congress to overcome its differences and approve the $60 billion in military aid for Kyiv.
I strongly believe it's important that allies make decisions fast, and that includes, of course, the United States. Because the United States is not the only supporter for Ukraine. Actually, European allies and Canada are providing roughly 50% of the military support to Ukraine. So this is really a shared effort by the United States and European allies and Canada. But of course, the United States is the biggest ally and is providing the most military support. And the fact that there has been no agreement in the US Congress on a supplemental or continued this support has consequences. That's one of the reasons why the Ukrainians have to ration the number of artillery shells, why they have problems standing up against the Russian force with overwhelming military power because of they are able to outgun them with more ammunition and more artillery. And the answer to that is to then make the decisions, not least in the US Congress. Any delay has real consequences on the battlefield.
Meanwhile, facing depleted ranks and severe ammunition shortfall, Ukraine made a strategic decision. In an effort to bolster its forces, top officials announced a lowering of the military conscription age from 27 to 25. A move that aims to address the shortfall of infantry and combat the initiative held by Russian troops. As the Russia-Ukraine war rages on for 2 years, Kyiv's principal challenge remains to pose a formidable challenge to Moscow through its artillery, while sustaining the task of restoring civilian life. Agency report, Republic TV.
Now, after Israel struck Iranian embassy in Syria's capital city of Damascus that killed at least 12 people, including 2 top Iranian commanders as well, Iran has now vowed to take revenge from Israel. Reports even suggest that Iranian president even shared a meeting with the Security Council to discuss a response to the attack.
Iran is planning to take revenge from Israel after its consulate was attacked in Syria.
صهیونیست‌ها دارن انتقام شکست‌های خودشون رو در طوفان الاقصی از سرداران سپاه می‌گیرند، ولی راه به جایی نخواهند برد. انگیزه پاسداران عزیز ما مضاعف خواهد شد و به زودی هم شاهد ضربات مهلکتری به رژیم صهیونیستی خواهیم بود و
The attack killed 12 people, including 2 top commanders. While Israel has not confirmed its role in Monday's attack, Iran has promised a response.
از 70,000 رزمنده‌ای که احتیاط و آفند این عملیات رو به عهده داشتن، کمتر از 1500 نفر اونها به شهادت رسیده است و بقیه اونها آماده تداوم مبارزه خودشون با صهیونیست‌های غاصب و اشغالگر هستند.
Sharif claimed that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was trying to divert global public opinion from the racist nature of his regime.
شیطانی نتانیاهو این برمیاد که تلاش میکنه حالا که افکار عمومی دنیا به ماهیت نژاد پرستانه این رژیم پی بردن، صحنه افکار عمومی رو با یک موضوع دیگری به یک جریان فرعی.
Iran provides money and weapons to Hezbollah, as well as Hamas and other Palestinian terrorist groups fighting Israel in Gaza. Clashes between Israel and Hezbollah along the Israeli-Lebanese border have increased since the war in Gaza began nearly 6 months ago. According to reports, Iranian president chaired a meeting to discuss Israel's offensive and decided on a required response to the strike. With tensions in Middle East escalating, is there a way to end this? Agency report, Republic TV.